Check it.
You're tuned in to Say What Radio with your hosts, Justin, Taz, and the other guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go.
Say What Radio. I'm gonna just start with this one and just say the headline, see what you say. Baseball coach is suspended after he forced his players to spit in his face.
He lose damn job.
A Greek man was convicted of stealing electricity despite being dead. Yes, convicted him after he died.
So he didn't do it before he died.
Yes.
No, okay. What is that? Over.
It's me.
Say what? Say what one more goddamn time.
All right. It's Wednesday night, so you know what time it is. Say What Radio is coming at you. Got your girl Justice bringing you a quick update tonight. Just want to kind of go over the quick things that are happening. Gonna start doing these a little bit more frequently just because, one, I miss you guys. Two, this is a creative process for me that I just absolutely love. And even though I haven't been able to get everyone together, even on the other podcasts, to be able to do this, I want to do this a little bit more frequently. So I'll be uploading little podcasts or even just kind of like snippets, maybe more on Instagram, but I'll definitely keep doing these because, like I said, this is food for my soul. But without further ado, let's get into the headlines. So I wanted to start this off. Even though we talk more about this stuff now on Cool Black Nerd Podcast, go check it out. But I still wanted to bring it up because I haven't been able to, one, do the show with Jules, and two, this is just heartbreaking. Spider-Man is going to be just part of the Sony universe now. He will no longer be a part of the MCU if the talks between Sony and Disney do not pick back up again. Because at this point in time, they basically just stalled. Well, stopped, not even stalled. Apparently, there's a deal with Sony and Disney, or Marvel previously, that Spidey was basically kind of community property. And Marvel would get a cut of it in the not the universe rights, but in the cinematic rights of the character. I think it's like 5% or the first day totals of the movie or something like that. And of course, Sony was happy to continue on with that particular deal. When they came back to renegotiate the deal or re-up the deal, so to speak, Disney was like, I'm on half. Take it or leave it. And Sony was like, okay, fuck you. And just kind of walked off. And talks just completely fell apart. So it was announced that Spidey basically will not be a part of the MCU anymore. It was kind of messed up considering that Far From Home just came out. And I haven't given my thoughts about Far From Home. I don't think publicly. It was an okay movie to me. Wasn't like Homecoming to me. It was just... yeah, it's a movie. I didn't enjoy it as much as I did the first one. And no, it wasn't because it was after Endgame or anything like that. It's just a movie to me. It was a movie. There was nothing good or nothing bad to say about it because it kind of balanced itself out, the bad things and the good things. So it just kind of ended up being a meh to me. But I kind of found that disheartening. And then a couple people were saying on Twitter, well, can we get a Deadpool and Spidey movie now? And unfortunately, my lover Ryan Reynolds was just like, yeah, you can, but it'll only be in my heart. And, Twitter just erupted in uproar. But it's funny because some people have actually started a petition to be able to get Spidey back into MCU as if that's going to be a factor in this particular thing. The only thing that would just basically say to Marvel is, yeah, we're right in wanting half of this because clearly the fans want it. But honestly, it isn't in the best interest of Sony. They had a great modicum of success with Venom, so why would they even entertain a ridiculous offer that doesn't benefit them? They to themselves would be like, okay, we started off with this Spider-Man thing and we can make it better and bigger or whatever. God knows if they can, but I'm pretty sure that's what they're thinking to themselves. So I just thought that was just kind of interesting, especially with the bullshit that's actually going on in the world. So the person in the White House is still going on his rants and raves as of late. One being that he's constantly saying that Jewish voters are disloyal if they support Democrats, and that he is so happy and elated that he moved the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem and all this other kind of stuff. And he's just sounding like Dre D actually sent me a perfect clip that just sums it up so greatly by John Mulaney from his stand-up special on Netflix. And it's just basically, there's like a horse in a hospital. You don't know what it's going to do because it's a horse in a hospital. And he's walking around every day doing stuff, and he has the power to just freak everybody the fuck out because it's a horse in a hospital. And that sums up his presidency. I'm sorry, him residing in the White House so greatly, so greatly. But him being in the White House currently is sparking fears, or I'm sorry, not him being in the White House. Let me not say that. Factors within the economy are now telling economists and analysts that a possible recession is at hand. And also the recession light went off, which I completely had forgotten about the recession light thing. It's kind of like a doomsday clock sort of symbol within our society. And it was just, it was very interesting to me that that was something that appeared again. I know that I had heard some grumblings and a few things about recessions coming up, but I digress. You know, we don't like giving him too much time on the show. One thing I did want to go over, we've had a number of mass shootings, and we're able to actually stop a few mass shootings from occurring because people were able to get help to the people who were thinking about accomplishing these disasters. And what's funny is as soon as something happened in a minority area or group, there was no mention of this. So there was a party at a school in Atlanta, Clark University, if I'm not mistaken. It was a block party. As I said, Clark University in Atlanta, which is a HBCU or historically black college. 4 people were shot on the campus. And there was nothing mentioned of it on the news. It actually happened over the weekend. And I believe the first time I heard about it was sometime today on ABC. It was just really weird that none of this made the national news as it did, considering that we have this, just huge discussion going on about gun control and the debate of how we should go about handling guns and background checks. And as I said, the mass shootings that are continuing to happen within our culture. And none of this was mentioned in a lot of mainstream media. It's very saddening, but I wanted to bring it up. I'll post a link of it on the Say What Radio website. And I'll also try to get a post up of it on Instagram or Facebook later, most likely Facebook, regarding this, because it's just crazy to me that none of this is being talked about. But our hearts and condolences go out to those who were affected and harmed within this particular incident. And I just, again, wanted to bring awareness about this. And it was another thing that I saw that was just completely crazy, where a Cleveland police officer is actually facing charges of trying to abduct a 12-year-old girl that he actually urinated on at a bus stop while he filmed it. What? Like, what there's really not a lot of information on it, but it's just like, what the hell is this? Who? Horse in a hospital. That's all I have to keep thinking. If you've been on Instagram, something that you may have seen recently is a post that's been going around and actually got a lot of traction because it was reposted by a lot of famous people and influencers, basically saying that tomorrow, August 22nd, there would be a rule that is enacted by Instagram saying that they could just, they own your photos and be able to do anything with them at any time and things like that. So many people sent this post around Instagram And I remember a couple of my friends actually posted it, and I'm just going like, did no one do a little research into it? Because as soon as I saw it, I was like, what? And the post just looks a little weird considering it has one, punctuation issues. There's some misspellings. And then the fact that the word Instagram is real weirdly in bold font the entire time. It just absolutely, it looked like a chain letter. And the fact that I saw it on some people that I follow, like Taraji P. Henson, I'm like, what? And I think it was actually some other people like, oh yeah, so Usher, Judd Apatow, Julia Roberts, Tina Knowles, Rick Perry. That's probably where it started. You know what? I'm gonna just go to the next thing. The other thing making headlines around this week is the fact that Jay-Z is doing a partnership with the NFL in the creation of social justice programs to benefit those in minority areas, communities, businesses, things like that, as well as being a curator of some kind for entertainment for the NFL. And of course, a lot of people had backlash on this. And I posted a little snippet of some of the reactions on Instagram, but I found it to be oddly interesting that a lot of the celebrities brought back in Colin Kaepernick, and it kind of made me see what Jay was talking about a little bit, where they were bringing in Colin Kaepernick, like, okay, you didn't do anything for him. And it's like, okay, do you know if that actually happened or whatever? Or are you just starting more, adding fuel to the fire at this point in time? Because no one actually knows what this is going to be. And there was some sort of town hall type thing that Jay did with a group of people and owners and things like that. But there are a lot of back and forth where people are supporting him, people are, vilifying him. I want to know all the facts beforehand and let me make my decision. In some instances, I can see this as a good thing, but other instances, I'm seeing this as like, what? So I want to, get a well-informed packet of information and then make my decision. Because right now, this could go either way. But I really do see the fuel that this could add to a hotbed of controversy and just making a powder keg just at this point. I want this to be something good, but like what Jay said, don't make it just about Cap. Don't bring Cap back into this saying, hey, what about Cap? What about Cap? What about Cap? Let's get all of the information first. Then we can be okay. If he go like, okay, well, Cap is out of that period. This ain't, I will never have anything to do with Cap. Cap will never have anything to do with this period. And then I'm gonna be like, okay, can he, get an internship, something? But if you're just going like, okay, he doesn't have a job, this isn't gonna help anything. You kind of don't have the best leg to stand on with that. Just my opinion. If you don't like it, why you listen to Say Word Radio? Just saying. So let's get to the tomfoolery section of the quick updates. And where do we go? Our favorite state, Florida. So, Florida man says gun is stolen from his home during an orgy. Sir, be glad that is the only thing that turned up at that orgy. Because God knows what else you probably going to go on with. Not saying that y'all didn't have safe sex or nothing. But if you was an orgy and motherfuckers stealing, can't really just say that they were on the best of the, social scale as a person. Just saying. But then he didn't even realize it was stolen until later. Sure you didn't just misplace that hoe? No? Okay. All right. So that, usually we kind of go through all of what the Florida headlines, but this kind of took the cake for me, what I saw this week. Now, I know everyone, and let me not say everyone, I know most people know of the juggernaut Netflix show, Black Mirror. Black Mirror actually had an episode that was based upon a system within society where your livelihood, your life, things that you could achieve, get, and have access to, similar to our society now, was based upon credit, but not just regular credit as into how much you owe, how much debt you have, things like that, or a piece of paper that says what the history was of your credit. It was based upon your social credit, how you were as a person. Like if you went to Starbucks, bought a latte from someone and didn't say, "Oh, thank you," or "Good morning" when you walked up, that person then turned around and scored you low, and that brought down your social score. At that point in time, if you wanted to go to work and your social score wasn't a certain number, you couldn't actually get into work. You couldn't open your car. Same thing with buying things, stuff like that. Now, China actually has this particular system put in place, and I believe it was already put in place prior to the episode, or was in some sort of limbo at that time and being implemented. But now it actually is in place, period. So Chinese citizens are punished by having their social credit score lowered for engaging in a number of different behaviors, including and or bad driving, smoking on trains, buying too many video games, buying too much junk food, buying too much alcohol, calling a friend who has a low credit score, having a friend online who has a low credit score, posting fake news online, criticizing the government, visiting unauthorized websites, walking your dog without a leash, and letting your dog bark too much. So basically it is who you associate with, how you interact with other people. Even your damn dog will lower your credit score and bar you from doing certain things, because China actually restricted 2.56 million discredited entities. They're called entities. From purchasing tickets or buying plane tickets and high-speed rail tickets. And if you know anything about the social system within China, it is public transit is very big, because they want to take cars off the road. They want you on those trains, on those buses and things like that to relieve congestion. If you can't buy that, how the hell you get into work? Wow. That's crazy. But I thought that was, something to talk about, and just had me going like, woo, 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 woo. But as always, please continue to follow us on social media. Say What Radio for all platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that jazz. Again, thank you for tuning in. As always, the biggest compliment you guys can give us is to really, really, really share, like, subscribe, review the show on iTunes, Google Play, thumbs up on Facebook, everything. Tell your family, friends about the show. We may not be everybody's cup of tea, but hey, let them listen and we can come to an agreement. You like this, don't like this. But that was funny. Yes, it was. Thank you for tuning in. Catch us next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
I'm dying in this fucking fucked up town. Shit flying in my mouth. Let's get the fuck out of this country, mother. The fuck is that? Say what again?